Hey, friend, today we're going to talk about sex. Oh, it can give you such a great and wonderful feeling, and it can also give you a horrible feeling like, oh my goodness. But at the same time, it can create emotions and all of these butterflies and birds and such a joyous day, and it can also ruin your day. But we're going to take a pause. We're going to take a pause on sex. Why, Mad Painter, are we going to take a pause on this sex thing, especially if it's great? Because we want to get to know ourselves. And part of this getting to know ourselves and looking at, why am I only attracting weak men? Why am I only attracting women who are after me for my money? Why can't I be direct about what it is that I want? What is it that I'm running from? So when we take a pause from this great feeling or this lack of great feeling because we want a better feeling and we're looking for that somewhere else, we're just going to take a pause on all of that. And while we're taking this pause, we're getting to know ourselves intimately. Now, when we are involved in all these different partners or one partner, especially if they're all over the place, friend, now this is the point where we want to get to know ourselves. Now, if you're not super sensitive, well, this may not be you, but then we also have to look at, if we're not super sensitive, we're not also being sensitive to our partner. And you may not care about that if you're not caring about your partners at this moment. But then, are we really valuing ourselves when we're not valuing the person that we are going to bed with? So, going back to this sensitive person, if you are a sensitive person, if you don't know this, you'll be all over the place like the person is that you're with, or trying to figure out why you have this conflict going on, which you're feeling like this, but thinking like this, and it's just not coming together. But when you're a sensitive person and you know you are sensitive, this can bring a lot of issues. If you're picking up the person, they have a word for this now called empath. And if you're out here with people and you're doing a do and you're an empath, honey, you are picking up on stuff and don't even know you're picking up on stuff of the other person and wondering, why am I so confused about this? Because you picking up all this different stuff and have yet to find out what is really you. So I picked this up for a reason. When we take a pause on this thing, we have an opportunity to kind of cleanse all that extra out, because it's all this extra noise happening on the inside, and we're wondering, why is this constant conflict? Why is all this toxicity? Why am I not getting what I want? Well, this is how we got to this part, is because we were only thinking about what we wanted. We wasn't thinking about the other person. It was just like, yeah, I see that right there. Yeah, that look good. I want that. And just went all off into the imagination station, and that was where your focus was. But when the focus becomes love, love changes how you go about doing things, friends. It even changes sex. Now, I get now and taking a pause. I didn't quite consider relationships in this thing. Do you know that when you take a pause, even in a relationship, and in the midst of the pause, you are taking time to develop? Baby, that build up and anticipation when it actually comes time to do, and love is involved in that. Smackdown. That Smackdown gonna come down harder than WWF, and when I tell you, memorable moment. So, but that's part of the preparation, friends. First, we starting off, which this too is part of the preparation. We are starting off and getting to know ourselves. Now, when we are in the situationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever is going on, especially when we are only looking at our desires, we're delusional because we're not considering other people and what is happening in our imagination station. And do you know what that puts us in a place of? Not listening to what the person is really saying. They may say one little thing and then your mind gets to going and you get to thinking about all this stuff, and it could be either male or female, but you get to thinking about all this different stuff and ain't heard nothing they said. And they're actually telling you who they are and what's going on. But when we're in our imagination thinking about what it is that we want, we done missed everything that they done told us. And then when they leave us after they got what they want, we wondering why. Well, what happened? How do we keep getting ourselves in this position, in this predicament and position? And we may have been happy a few minutes ago in that other position, but right now we're not happy. So it's like, friend, we have to get to a place in looking at us and not pointing the other finger, because water seeps its own level. And friend, we fill with a whole bunch of water. And water has memory. And if we are putting all this memory in what we think we know, and we're not really taking time and getting to know ourselves, we're attracting a whole bunch of confusion and allowing it in our space. Now, I understand that even after we evolve and mature, we'll still attract that stuff that was from the past. But friend, that's a test. That's a test to see, did you graduate? Did you learn that lesson from way back yonder, from kindergarten, from third grade? Because right now we getting ready to go to high school or on to college, and we need to know if you able to move on to this next level. So in moving on to this next level, friend, if we are not including God in on the sex, this is another reason for the pause. And I'm not talking about oh God, no. No, I'm not talking about right then and there. I'm talking about, now Lord, is this somebody I should even be doing a do with? Like, what do you think? I get we have these feelings and these desires, and this is another reason why we want to take this pause. In knowing how sex feels, because it's different if you don't know. Your curiosity is in wondering what that is. And I mean, there's a certain level of wonderment when it's someone new, but when you ain't had it, you can cut it off much better. So we have to think about this, friends. In the midst of taking this pause, do we want to put ourselves in a predicament where, one, the pressure of sex is louder than whatever God is saying to us? Two, when we spend this time with God and have this intimate time, it develops our listening. So it helps us to be more sensitive. And we're also reading his word, because I mean, when you want to get to know someone, this is in training. This is part of our preparation and helping us with whoever we're going to be in this relationship with. Because baby, even if you consider having multiple people in this relationship, it started off with you. And people can think about this stuff in the bed, but it takes real grown folks to have a conversation and take care of business outside of bed. So just put that up in there. And you want to have love involved in the unity thing. So it starts off with one. And if you can get this going with one, it's a beautiful thing. And then they may change how we go about this relationship situation as you grow in this oneness with God. So as you're growing with God, you're also getting to know his word. You're reading his word. You're being processed through his word. You're talking to him about his word. This is what this intimate relationship part is about. You're walking with him in his word. So where this comes in, that as you are getting to know God and experiencing his love, baby, when there is this conflict that's going on in between your mind and your heart and whatever is going on down there. Now, it's usually just these two, but when down there is involved, oh, it's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So it's all these other internal conflicts, because this feels like this, but this wants this and this wants something else. But then when you have this word of truth, this word of truth that's going to be here, that was here before you got here, that's going to be here while you're here, and you're going to see in an operation when you learn to open your eyes to it, and it's going to be here when you're gone. So when you learn that this is the truth, this is the business in which we stand on, and as we stand on this business, all of whatever is feeling, and no matter how unaligned it is, that truth is going to bring it all in alignment, because it will check it like, you know what? This is the truth. I don't care how you feel, what you thinking, or what you thought. This is what the truth is. And then this comes to you in making the choice. Now, am I going to go with the truth, or am I going to lie to myself because I want to do this? This is where self-awareness comes in, friend. And this is why we want to learn to have these hard talks with ourselves. Because before we get to going on and whatever it is that we're thinking about doing, we want to look at it and tell ourselves, now, baby, we notice these red flags right now. Now, why are you going on and doing this? It's because you want some, don't you? Don't you? I don't care if it's new Tootie or old Tootie that you just want to go back to. But we got to look at this like, it's because I want some. And this is where we are getting to the truth of the things. And you take that on to God. And it's like, okay, you know how I feel. And I need help with this. There's nothing wrong with including God in on this. Are you having erectile dysfunction issues? Talk to God about it. I mean, he will guide you and tell you what to do. Sometimes it ain't just about popping a pill. It's about your diet, your exercise, what it is you're thinking about. Sometimes you got to talk to it and speak life to it. And the Lord will give you words to speak to it and make them rise. Same thing with the moisturization station. So I'm saying, even if we're in this relationship thing and it feels like your relationship is dying and it's, you know, the spices aren't spicing like you want them to be spicing, come together in unity and talk to God about it. I mean, he created the thing. Why do you think that he don't want that? Ew, that's nasty. How do you think you got here? I mean, back in TT day in the 90s, they was talking about these test tube baby situation. I don't know about that. It may be test tube babies, but it still took a semen in the egg. And who created that? God did. So, include him in on this sex thing, because it makes it better. It makes you better. And then when it comes to this third thing, which I am about to talk about, discipline. Baby, that manipulation, if I put that thing on you, smack you all up in the face with it, like, yeah, it was good. When it's like, oh my God, yes, it was. I got you. So if one, I don't have it and I'm not focused on it, I'm about to tell you and I'm about to put it to you raw. You can buy that thing from anywhere. You can buy that thing. And I don't care how you label that thing on wherever the spectrum, you can buy that thing from anywhere. But is that really what you want? You can't buy love. You can't buy love. You cannot buy that. You cannot buy that. So it's deeper than purchasing that thing. I just had to. But when it comes to this self-control, people will manipulate you by sexual desires. So in you learning how to say no to yourself, say no to your past, say no to whatever is coming to you. Because look, okay, I just want you to think about it like this. Do you want to be in a committed relationship? That's the one thing right there. And it starts with you learning to be committed to yourself. Now, this is where God comes in at. I'm just going to go to food. It took my body to kick my behind and tell me no more pizza heifer. Because if you eat some more pizza, I will kill you. So it took that to happen for me to actually make up in my mind, because all in my mind, it was like, you gonna be okay, you can eat this pizza. Shoot. My body did not agree with that. But at the same time, and asking for help and asking how to go about doing this thing, now it's like I look at cheese like, I'm okay. I am okay. Even that fake cheese is very questionable. And so, in looking at this self-control thing, it is a processing thing. And it's a difference when you're trying to process yourself and tell yourself no, but God knows the bigger picture. The other thing is, when we talk to God about the people who we're looking at and considering, God knows way more than you do, and he definitely loves you. I mean, the stuff that you think that you can't go to him about, baby, he already knows about it. It's just like, just go ahead and open up and invite him in, so it's like this thing can be worked through. But friend, when we include him in on this thing in dating, because I mean, I wasn't really going to say nothing, but it just came across my mind. People have so much to say about Meg Thee Stallion's dating life. Let's look at our own dating life. A lot of this comes from, and this has absolutely nothing to do with Meg, but it's still looking at how we're going about choosing people. Sometimes we have to stop choosing people, because we're choosing based off of our desires, what we think looks good on paper, or what outwardly looks good. And again, when we are in our desires, baby, we not really listening to what the person is telling us or paying attention to what they're showing us. But we'll see it, or we'll see it, but we'll put them blinders on like, those red flags look so colorful right now. Oh my God, they're so pretty. Satan, you a lie. And so this is how we're getting, this is how we're getting about gaining this self-control, and then getting to know God and getting to know ourselves. And in getting to know God and ourselves, we see how he values us. And when it gets to a thing and seeing how he values us, you're not going to want to continue to misuse people. Now, you may have people who are in agreement to, okay, I'm in this thing with you, but we're still not considering the future. We're still not considering how people's feelings may happen, how you may create things from this situation, and you may not be fully into it, or this person is. But you're creating a life or bringing something else into the situation where it's like you're automatically bringing a unity in something where you really don't want to be united with this person. And so I won't make this video super long, but in looking at getting to know people and conquering certain pressures within, it's harder to conquer those pressures when you didn't went on and had sex, or this is what you're focusing on, and you haven't allowed yourself to get to know the person, because now you're caught up in all these emotions, these different feelings, this roller coaster ride, just strictly from sex. And you were thinking the person was one way, but didn't allow time and space. Because sometimes we have to allow time and space and just be patient. This is why you don't want to have any desires in dating people, and to actually let them show you who they are, and know who you are, know what your weaknesses are. Pay attention to if this is what's gonna make you drop them draws. Nope, it's time for you to move around. Maybe you need to eat somewhere else, go somewhere else, especially not at their house. Do not let the first date be their house. If it's up to me, do not let the first few months, I even throw in like 6. Do not even be trying to sit at nobody's house, especially if you're looking to be in a relationship. If you're looking to be in a relationship and to be married to somebody, you got all the time in the world to be in a house with somebody. Trust. So do not let Netflix and chill be your date and getting to know time, because I mean, you may get to know them, but it's not going to be how you think. So in this soul ties thing, because it may be labeled something else now. People believe in soul ties, but just in a little bit in explaining why the soul tie thing. Whether you are entering in or being entered in, something is entering into you. And so, as you're exchanging these fluids, you're getting a piece of someone and someone is getting a piece of you. And so, people may not believe that soul-wise you're doing an exchange. Bodily-wise, you definitely are. And for those people who are very, very sensitive, this makes the sensitivity even stronger. And whether you believe in soul ties or not, in looking at the sensitivity, you are connecting yourself with someone else. And if you are connecting yourself with someone who's not as sensitive or who is not as truthful, there will be an extreme amount of conflict. Because one, you'll be spooking a person like, how do you know I never said anything like that? Because this person is picking up on you. So this comes back to the question, are you trying to be in a monogamous or committed relationship? Because if you are the type of person who is not trying to be in this type of relationship and you're just trying to live your life and want to be out there and have fun and sow your royal oats, do not be with a person who chooses to be committed. This is conflictual, extremely. But this is a whole nother conversation. But this is in getting to know yourself and getting to know God and getting to know self-discipline, because God plays a key in all of that. Because baby, you be trying to do all this stuff by yourself and it's like, but how? Because it's always going to be something else. So keep in mind, God knows more than you. Anytime he's telling you no about a situation or a person, no matter how bad you want that thing, it's for your protection. Even looking at relationships, for those relationships that end and God may have told you, no, don't go back. But it's like, but I love him. Oh, I love her. That was Big Booty Judy. It's reflect on the past, my friend. And this is what's gonna be beneficial to you in your intimate time with yourself and your intimate time with God. Is reflect on the past and seeing how you thought this was like this, but it really wasn't. And now look at those people and that person that you may have been in love with way back when, and it just didn't work out. No matter how bad you wanted them, you just couldn't seem to get them. But then years later, you see, it was a good thing I wasn't with them. Yeah. So take time and reflect. Take time and reflect on the things that you may want to change. Take time and reflect on your foundation. Our parents, our home life situation play a major part on that. And a lot of these things we need healing from. So before we go on out there and do, let's just take a pause. Because I mean, sex can be great and all that, but with the right person at the right time and when it's time to do so, and not just because we have this pressure, not just because we want to do so, because it's now time to sit and reflect on what's happening with me. Why am I attracting the type that I am attracting? And how do I become what I really want to attract? Let's spend some time with God and look at that. I love you guys. God loves you even more. Until next time, my friends, like, share, and subscribe. And experience him. Because, I mean, once you take him everywhere, baby, everywhere, he changes the game. I love you guys.